Alright guys, let's talk about cameras, angles, apertures, and all that. So, I want to make a really quick video to talk about cameras, but there's a really good video on YouTube that's actually the video where I learned about this topic. So, it's really worth watching, even though it's a bit long. It's this video here by Mauricio Camargo, where he explains exactly how photography for architecture is done, how it's done, and how electronic model projects should be interpreted within architecture. And it's a really comprehensive lesson, covering all the topics. So you can see here, he actually goes over real photography principles. So, architects and engineers are kind of crazy professionals, because they have to follow architectural principles to get good images and good references, which they show right inside Lumion. But anyway, he's going to meticulously show a comprehensive bunch of essential lighting rules, precise camera positioning rules, effective focus techniques, artistic blur effects, and really a lot of truly cool and insightful content to help you find the absolute best angles for all your projects. So, this is an extremely important lesson for anyone looking to improve in this area and get great results, great images for your projects. I'll share some concepts with you here, but it's nothing compared to everything Mauricio is giving you for free here on YouTube. So really, the only people who don't learn are the ones who don't want to, guys. These lessons here are really interesting. You can look up this video by Mauricio Camargo, right here, free photography course for architecture and digital models. It's really worth it. It was a video I watched myself. So, let's talk now about the principles of camera positioning within our project. So, what are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about angle, about camera aperture, and some principles here in SketchUp. Like I said, you need to adapt these principles to your own architecture projects, okay? No matter which program you use, all architecture software has similar tools to the ones I'm going to use here, right? Sometimes SketchUp is easier in some aspects, and sometimes it falls short in others. That's just how it is. Each software has its own quirks and its own importance depending on its purpose. It's worth applying everything I'm sharing here to your own projects, and you'll see that these are simple things, not super complex stuff. Really, it's just about image framing and camera positioning. Mauricio explains this really well in his video. I'm going to share these basic principles with you here in less than 10 minutes. So, to start, I wanted to show you this camera angle here, which is actually an angle I've already talked about with you guys, right? It's worth mentioning that I'm not taking into account file optimization here. I'm not considering, our edge optimizations here. So you can see that I'm using Profile 5. We're still going to fix this. We're still going to get to a level close to this one here. Look. So, don't pay attention to these edges we have here, okay? What we're talking about here right now is camera optimization. Here, for example, we have a great angle, and here in SketchUp, I'm going to press Z. See how when I pressed Z, it opened up my field of view down here? Your file optimization actually starts right here. The same magnifying glass up here also takes me to this field of view. Normally, in architecture, we tend to use narrower angles. So, what are narrower angles? An angle like 20 or 15. Of course, it really depends on your project. Don't just go putting in super, tight angles here, because sometimes you won't be able to fit your project in. But here, look, sometimes a 40-degree angle already helps. Avoid wider angles, like an 80-degree angle here. See how this distorts your project, and it makes your project look like it's way bigger than it actually is. So, I'm going to exaggerate here. Let's set it to 120. Oh my god, it looks terrible. It's hard for you to work with. So, look, you can navigate here with the magnifying glass, but guys, be really careful with this angle thing in your project. Set it here, look, keep it between 20 and 40, and you'll get good results. And then, of course, you try to fit your image here, right, the angle of your project. Look, here I already got a great result. Guys, be careful not to use top-down angles like this, okay? These angles here usually don't turn out that well. So, those typical security camera positions, try not to use those. Imagine if you mix it up here, put a 70-degree angle and a security camera here, you see. First, this is going to devalue your project, and second, it doesn't add any beauty to your project, right? It's showing the grass down here. The project looks super distorted, so this isn't interesting. Keep it here. I'm going to set it to 35. See, 35 is already a good camera angle. Lower your camera here, position it well, right? You need to have a bit of command over SketchUp here. Like I said, I'm not giving you a SketchUp course. I imagine you already know these basic principles, and then you can create your own angles here, alright? Hey, I'm done. Let me set it here at a 30-degree angle, nicely positioned. Done. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to come here, look, to view, see? This is also another principle that Mauricio covers in his training. I'll show you here, but look, view actually, I don't think it's here in view, it's here in display. No. Ah, you're going to come here to camera, 2-point perspective. Look at what it did. I'm going to add another scene here, see? Check out the difference. I won't be able to show you an example here, but look, I'll do it like this. I'll put it at a bad angle here. I'll come here to camera, 2-point perspective. What did it do here? See? It aligned with the vertical of my project. What's happening? This is also a photography principle, okay? So, what does this 2-point perspective bring to our project? It brings more realism, because if you really look at real life, all the vertical lines are straight in real life. So, if I come here to camera, 2-point perspective, the vertical lines will always, you can see here in the corner, look, they're aligned. With the screen, they're always going to be straight. We don't walk down the street. You don't walk down the street and see a building all crooked, right? No, that doesn't happen. Vertical lines are always straight, so the vertical lines are always straight. And in architecture, we need to bring that same interpretation. So that's why, when we come here, like, I'm adjusting my camera here, whatever, when I come here to position an image, I have to come here, look, to 2-point perspective. Why? Because this is an architectural principle, of course. This angle here is bad, right? Usually, we use angles closer to the ground like this, see? So there you go, set it to 2-point perspective and the vertical angles will always stay straight. This will make your project look more realistic. So, write this down, it's a principle. Always try to keep the vertical perspective of your project aligned. And now, this is even something that Mauricio shows here. Look, in this photo, right? So, be careful with the position from which you take your photo. Check out the spot here, the angle where this image was taken, and the final result of the image. So, it turned out to be an amazing image. Usually, when we're taking photos of houses, projects, or interiors, we try to find a camera position that's not too low, like here. See, I'm in a very low position, and not too high either, like a security camera. So we always look for a middle ground. It's really important that you do this in your project too. Find a middle ground, right? It's always interesting, and Mauricio even talks about this in his training, that you try to get a view, like this, of the face. You know, if you had a table here or something like that, it's good to show a bit of the top part of your furniture, if, of course, it's a piece like a table that's about 1 meter or 70 centimeters high, more or less. Always aim for a height from the floor of around, depending on the project. It really depends on your project, about 60 centimeters from the ground. When you're dealing with interiors, try to position your camera just a bit higher, maybe around 80 centimeters. And when we're making exterior images, try to go for a height of about 120, we're talking centimeters here, about 120 centimeters, right? About 1.5 meters, roughly that height for your project so you can get good images, okay? So, these are some basic principles for camera positioning. So never forget, vertical should always be straight, and never go for that security camera angle. Another thing, guys, what do you want to show in your scene? It's not a good idea to just come here, you know, take a whole image like this, take a screenshot here and throw it into the withdrawal. That won't look good. No way, absolutely not. What's better is to position things well here, you see? Focus on small elements, just your bed, or just the closets, for example. Don't go trying to widen your field of view here, set it to 90 degrees just to capture everything in your scene, it doesn't look good that way. Sometimes you want to show everything you've got, but you just end up making your project look worse. So it's really important to focus on small details here. Don't rush to show everything in your project, because sometimes you end up, you know, making your project look less impressive by trying to cover too much. Right? So, you always notice in photography and everything else, people focus on just a few key elements. When it comes to cameras and camera positioning, I want to share these few principles with you, okay? So, always try to capture more detailed angles of your project, always look for straight verticals, always try to position your camera at a height that's not too high or too low, find a balanced middle ground using good judgment. From here, we're going to move on to lighting and then to file optimization, okay? I think that when it comes to artificial intelligence, all the points are very important, but lighting and file optimization play a major role here for you to be able to send an image into Withdraw that will actually be high quality. The lighting you set up in your SketchUp, ProMob, Revit, ArchiCAD, or whatever software you use will be interpreted directly inside Withdraw. So, see you in the next class.